Hi, how are you? My name is Scott Rims. Uh, I'm one of the Junkanoo here in Miami with a little history behind me. I've been introduced to Junkanoo here in Miami long years ago, from back the early 80s. I met a gentleman, this little short guy by the name of Bruce Benavy. And I was at a party. I was in my 20s back then, but as you can see, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
But me and Bruce, we formed a bond because I remember when I met Bruce. Bruce was so passionate about Junkanoo. Everything about him was all about Junkanoo. He just loved every minute. And he asked me, he said, what could you do in Junkanoo? I said, well, I've been a drummer all my life, and at the same time, I work on a little bit of custom. Now, what? You make custom? I say, well, I try my best. He said, I tell you what, I'm going to see if you're lying to me or not. Make me 6 hats. I made the 6 hats, and from the day I made those 6 hats and trick them up and give them to that man, my life was just different, because my family used to say, who this man is? Every time you turn around, he come in here, Junkanoo this and Junkanoo that, Junkanoo the next. You see, because I have a trade, and my trade is a generational trade. So I'm a finished carpenter, plasterer, I remodel and all that. But when I got into Junkanoo with Bruce, I started slipping, because the passion for Junkanoo started really getting to me so much, until I love every moment. So it came when me and Bruce started. I used to go around by his house there on 60th Street, right off of 17th Avenue. And we'd go in the back of the yard, especially on Saturdays when he ain't got nothing to do, or before we go do a show or something like that. And we'd be in the back there, and his wife, what I call mother, because she ever was a beautiful woman. She was the second mother. Bruce used to be the one dragging me into Junkanoo. Mother dragged me into cooking. Now when she found out I could cook, that was it. I'd be in her kitchen and she telling me what she want. And the family, the Benavy family, was ever a close family to me. I always hold them with high regards for them, because they were so passionate and loving and kind, until you had no other choice but to love them like they love you. And we formed that bond, and Bruce was so into Junkanoo every day, until Mother used to say, Bruce, take them dead skin from around you, because when Bruce soaked them skin in lime, now me and him got to go head drum. Ain't nobody else want to help now, but me and him be in the back there with all that stained skin, and we head and drum, and we ain't stopping until we get some skin, some heads. And we did this for a long time. That's how I got associated with most of the brothers in the Junkanoo. The old original guys like Langston, Rufus. Well, I can't even mention Patrick, because Patrick was a part of the family. He's a Benavy. You understand what I'm saying? So he's Bruce's son. So John and Sean and all the rest of Bruce's grandchildren, I watched them grow up from kids, man, to be the man and the woman they are today. Unfortunately, years later, Bruce was killed on 54th Street, right across the street from where I live. Coming from Trudy's across the street, and the guy hit him, and that was a hard day for me. But after that happened, we stayed for a little bit in the Junkanoo, and we did what we can, but at the same time, we needed to, I still worked on custom. I still never lose that passion for custom. I never lose the passion for drumming either. So
go from different directions for different groups?
Well, what happened was this way it came in now. After Bruce died, then it started with David Dane. Then David formed his own group. And we played with David for many years, even Langston. We all used to play with David. Les was still alive. A lot of them were still alive, and we played and we did what we did. Now, when David died, we left David and we started Bahama Junkanoo Review. And Bahama Junkanoo Review, I was the custom designer for David, and I used to do. He used to call me, God, I got some work I need you to do. I got I want some skirt piece. I want some shoulder piece. But remember, back then, they wanted everything on the cardboard. The problem with cardboard, it is so hard to be able to manage it, because let's say you have 10 guys, and you just got space for these guys, but you don't have space for all this cardboard. Then what you gonna do? You know, it became a hassle. So I started thinking. I said, man, you know something? I need to get them out of these cardboard skirts and into some cloth skirt, because with the cloth you could put them all in one bag and manage the space. You know. I said the only problem we would have is with the hat stem, because you know you can't squeeze the hat stem in space, but everybody can hold their own hat. You know, but we did that for many years. Even Reggie, we all hang for a bit, and then
Reggie is another group.
We left from there, and we formed Bahama Junkanoo Review. Now in Bahama Junkanoo Review, it was the leaders was me, which and the leader, the real leader is Langston Longley. It was Langston, who was the leader, and he go out there, and he would be the man to go and get the jobs and stuff. Then there was Clint. Then there was Reggie. And then it was Gerard. And then it was me. Now we all had our duties that we performed. Well, basically they know from all the groups before I was doing customs, so they let me continue to do customs. For a lot of years, I did a lot of custom for them. I remember when we used to do the Sunfest back in the early 90s. We used to do the Sunfest in Broward. Really in West Palm Beach. We used to go to West Palm Beach for 3 days. And that used to be some of the most enjoying time of our life, man. The festival is so huge, and the rush is so long, but the energy from the people, man, that energy from the people is what gives you that drive to keep going. And we look forward to that for many years. We were doing that. And at the same time, I always was coming up with a different idea on how to really change the way we look. How to take us from one box to the next box. And we did that for many years. Then with that, you know, things start to get a little hectic. And once things start to get hectic, we step away. Gerard, hectic is when different things start to happen. Different coincidences start to happen, and we all as men, we just couldn't see eye to eye on some things. Not that we were not brothers, because we still brothers to this day. But you know, like they say, when I rather just step away from you than for us to be going through some kind of confrontation, because that, you know, even family has they verbal agreement or disagreement, but at the same time we still blood. And that's what I love about the brothers, all my brothers. Because we never got physically, because we love each other and respect each other too much for that. So all we did was back away. But if you need us, call us. Now, when that happened, Gerard formed his own group. I formed my own group. Reggie formed his own group. Langston stayed with Clint, and they still, to this day, still together. Now Clint is the custom designer for his group. He makes all of his custom. And he's doing a good job. He's doing a fantastic job because, you know, we all have to keep up, especially Bahama Junk in the Review. When we all were together, we had a reputation of being the best here in Miami. There's no dispute about that. Even to this day, there's hardly too many groups here that can stand up to Bahamas Junk in the Review. And that's even after I started being the custom designer. But what I really want to do, and what I really am doing is, not only does I want Bahama Junk in the Review to look spectacular, not only Reggie I want to look spectacular, not only me, because I had this mentality one time ago when I was with Bahama Junk in the Review, that, you know, I was the custom designer, so I make mine different from everybody else on. And I'm looking the prettiest and all trick up, all kind of way, and my shoes is out of in a different dimension. Yeah. And I used to be, you know, to motivate them, I used to put up $50. Anybody, I got $50 on any man here. You make your own shoes, you make your own leggings. And I got $50 here on any man who beat my shoes and my leggings. We used to have such fun doing that because it motivates them, and they go out there and they come back with these nice looking shoes and leggings, and they right up there. I mean, they up there. They ain't beaten, but they up there, you know, because a lot of people don't realize Junkanoo is from head to toe. If you looking good all the way up to the top, and then when people look down to the bottom, you just, because if you notice, you can tell when a person just got on a regular pair of tennis, and they costume is busting, they hat busting, they costume busting, everything is, I mean, on point. Then when you look down, it broke because they just wearing this white pair of tennis or whatever they decide to wear. It throws off the whole concept. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I motivated them to stay into the shoes. But unfortunately, nobody took the crowd, you know? Nobody took the crowd, so, you know, the crowd still stay with me, even to this day, you know? Yeah. Because I still make shoes for a lot of the guys that wants their shoe done, and they still come to me, and they still out there being the best and looking the best. And that's the thing about customs here in Miami. You know, years ago I used to hear about guys from over town, and they go in and they play into these parties and all these different functions. And when you look at it, people so heartbroken because they come there in just white T-shirt and white pants and no Junkanoo shoes and no costume or nothing. You know, and that started to really make Junkanoo look like a joke here in Miami, because it happens that if you're building something, if you're going to build something, it only takes a certain amount of people to break it down, you know. And after that side happened, because I only used to make custom for the people who play with me, for my group, and keep my group level high, you know, to that standard where I could stand up and maintain with any other group here in Miami, even shine above most of them, because the ability to do work ever been my heartbeat. It's something when it comes to creative art. That's something I love, and that's something that relaxes me. But back to the point, I went back and say, well, you know, I went my little corner and I say, well, you know something. It is time for me to start because I couldn't find, to tell you the truth, with the attitude and the way it is here in Miami with my brothers, most of them, because I remember when we used to take a delight way before the Martin Luther King parade was even a paid holiday, even before it became an official holiday. I never worked for nobody on that day. If you want to see me, come on 62nd and 7th Avenue, because that's where we starting from. And we're going to take that all the way to MLK Park. Now, back in those days, that was the love and the passion of Black Pride. We never charged not a penny when Bruce was alive for MLK. MLK was always something that we give back to the city. Now that was our pact with the city. Martin Luther King Parade, when you see Christmas come, we're going to remind you how Miami flavor is. And Liberty City and Overtown know what we used to do. We used to get together, and even the police back then never used to fool with us because the only thing they used to say, oh, y'all getting ready to show love. Yeah, we getting ready to show some love, you feel me? And we crank up, and we take it through the neighborhood, and then when we finish with the city, we go to Overtown, and the people waiting on us, man. Because that was the Christmas spirit that we brought to Miami. Because guess what? It's the people in Miami that keeps us going year round. If it wasn't for their love, all we have was costume and instruments. But because they love us, we got to show them that we love them just as much. And the sad part about it is the new generation that came into Joe Canoe, even the ones that we brought and incorporated into this thing, they found out that there's a way to make money. Not get rich now, but there's a way to make money. But because of the attitude and the selfishness I see in a lot of them, I never taught them how to really manipulate and make the kind of costume they would like. Because it's not that I'm selfish with my talent, but I can't share my talent with selfish people because it's not about me. What about the next generation after me? What about the next generation after the man that I showed how to do this thing? Because you see, this thing is not just for the day or tomorrow or next year. This history, this is a part of our history. This is a part of who we are in Miami. You know, this is a part of Miami flavor being here for many, many years. You know, and the only thing I did to it was try to enhance a little bit more of the flavor. Now, I started to go out of the box and I started to make custom for a lot of guys there. Because one time ago I used to be selfish, but I decided not to be selfish because what is it profiting me by me looking good and everybody else looking halfway? So I say, you know what? When a baker bake a cake, he don't just design one piece. He takes care of the whole cake, and when he finished with that whole cake, it looks so mouth-watering, you even ain't tasted it yet, and you are ready to bite into it. So I say, you know something? That's what I can do. That's what I can bring to John Canoe in Miami. That's what I could contribute to. So because I kept doing that, and I kept making custom for different guys, and now it's coming back. Well, it's not there yet. But it's the Junkanoo pride is coming back. But the problem is, the guys them need to have a little bit more love. They got to show a little bit more respect for the culture, because it's not just about business. It's about a culture, man. It's about black pride. It's about us. You know, we didn't make Junkanoo. We didn't start this. This thing started hundreds of years ago before us. This is something our ancestors had back in the motherland. And guess what? We were able to take that from hundreds of years ago and bring it here now into existence. You know, when I first started checking out and going back and doing researches on Junkanoo, I found out that what we do now is really not considered Junkanoo in Africa, because the Africans, they used to make these demonic, I call it, these demonic masks and scare the living. You understand what I'm saying? So the children always knew that, man, you're going to bring the Junkanoo here? Oh my God. You know, they trying to find some place to hide. You know, they running behind their little huts and stuff like that. Because the Junkanoo back then was to ward off evil spirits. You know? And when they bring the Junkanoo, they bring in all these different type of I can't say it's evil or demons, but they were spirit to drive off spirit. You know what I mean? So in other words, if you was a badass spirit inside my hut, and I call these people, they bring in a spirit even better than the one inside my shit. You feel me? Yeah. So now, and that's where Junkanoo originated from. Now in the Bahamas, after we was emancipated, after we got emancipation, that's when John Canoe went to all the slave owners before emancipation and tell them, say, look, why don't we be, because he was a slave, but he brought his freedom. He said, why don't we give them one day out of the year for them to celebrate with their own culture? And at the same time, it'll progress, because now they'll be happy. They will do what they need to do, and you wouldn't have no problem out of it. So they say, all right. Now guess what? Our ancestors was able to make drums. They ain't well no cowbells, but they had their little stuff that they could put and make their little shakers and stuff like that, and make they whatever all the instruments they needed. And when they put all those instruments together, them crackers used to open up their mouth, leave them with their jaw drop and stuff, because it was ever in them. You understand what I'm saying? So now they doing their thing, and even the white folks, they into it and they enjoying the rhythm. Now, as it progressed, after we got freedom and emancipation in the Bahamas, then we kept the culture alive. We started, because I remember when we just used to use newspaper from the Guardian. We stripped the newspaper, and you got this little cone hat, and you go out there and you doing your thing. You feel me? Yeah. And I remember as a little shorty, getting the lard can and cutting out the bottom and getting my bicycle tire with some heavy plastic and pull down on that, and I got me a drum. And I remember we used to get the little bleach bottle and get the broken glass and put it inside there and shake that, and that's it. That's your cowbell, you know? And we grew up like that. And but Junkanoo has evolved so much until it's amazing, because I remember they talking about horn line. Yeah, it's a horn line now, but I remember as a little boy when you hear that, you know Junkanoo getting ready to start, because that bugler out there doing his thing. And then when you see, they used to rush to Bay Street. Yes, when I was a little boy, growing up, 4 o'clock in the morning, the house rumbling, and that ain't nothing but rhythm. That's Chippy them getting ready to go over the hill to Bay Street. Now they gonna rush to Bay Street before they even do anything. They rushing out there. So now they bring in everybody was going on Bay Street, going with them because the crowd waiting to hear the Junkanoo. Boy, the Junkanoo getting ready to go, you know. Hurry up. Because you see, you don't even feel that walk. Because from when they crank up on Peter Street, when you see they crank up on Peter Street, they going all the way to Bay Street. And when they take that to Bay Street, that's when all the other groups come in and they do their thing. Now, still back to evolution with Junkanoo. Now, when back then, they wear their little stuff. But remember, there was always rival in the Bahamas, especially in Nassau. You couldn't live 3 blocks away and don't get robbed over here 3 blocks over, unless you was a real bad boy. So it was always a confrontation with somebody. You always either had to catch somebody who catch you, or you always got to defend yourself. Now, although we from different neighborhoods and have our differences, Junkanoo is the glue that brings everybody together. Now, yes, it brings everybody together, but now, let's say the guy kick your teeth out last week, right? Now, you out here with your raked up mouth, and you looking at this guy, and something telling you just get him back, right? Now, you jump on him, everybody see you do it. So now you can't hide. The police come into your house for you. So now you decide to get smart. So now you start wearing the half mask or the whole mask. You started wearing different type costumes to hide your identity. Now you hitting fellas in the back of the head with your car bell and stuff. But nobody know who did it. Because now they can't visually say it's you, you know?
Right.
Because everybody custom similar.
Yeah.
So how they gonna say is you would do that?
Right.
So that's how Junkanoo evolved. It evolved from something violent into something graceful and something beautiful. You know, and I have mad respect for my brothers them who bring out those big customs, man.
Yeah.
You know, when they bring out their big customs, it takes that thing to a different level, man, you know. Now, I was looking at Brazilian Carnival. And as an artist and as a costume designer, you know, I was amazed because they make their stuff out of, they go in the factory and make these big animated type stuff that moves and everything and do what it want to do and stuff like that. But we don't do that. But we stand up just as close to them.
Yeah.
Without that. And with cardboard, they're using plastic and all these different variety of things. And we're using cardboard and crepe paper.
Yeah.
In some instances, we use styrofoam.
Yeah.
You know, but if all the guys them in Miami would get together and stop just looking at this as a business, as a way to profit from it, yes, I don't have no problem with that. But it has to be bigger than just profit. It has to be to a point that, just like how they have Junkanoo in the Bahamas yearly. Now, why can't we have something like that here for Christmas? We need to be able to have a place that people can come and enjoy the holiday with us. Someplace they can take their family on Christmas and watch a beautiful parade and enjoy it. You know, vendors on the side if you want to buy something to eat or whatever you want to do. But that's the problem. A lot of people don't have and don't look forward, don't have that expectation to say, well, look, I'm going to the Junkanoo, I'm going to see this, I'm going to the parade, I'm going to have a good time. You know, especially a night parade. There've never been a night parade here in Miami, where people. The closest was to that was the Orange Bowl parade back in the days. That's the closest thing came to a night parade. But that's what we need. We need a night parade, We need guys them to get serious. We need, because the people here in Miami never really see what we really have to offer. Imagine having a big custom, but not just one big custom. But imagine having dozens of them, because every group coming up with their own theme, and everybody doing their thing. And you have different judges, city officials or whatever, whoever we decide to use to help judge us. But my brother, we mightn't be around to see these things. But if we build the right foundation, the kids after us would remember us from what we contribute here to Miami. You know, we have to be in a position to start this and not just talk about it.
Yes.
You know, like they say, don't talk about it, be about it.
All right.
And I know we could do that. You know?
All right, Gio. Thank you, bro.
You're welcome, my brother.